Tech Talk, UI, UX, design in the transportation world. We're speaking with design experts from Metromile, Honk, and Scoop. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to share the sneak peek on Facebook, and I'd love for you guys, the panelists, to give us a little introduction to yourself and your background.
Sure. I'm Matt Stein. I head up the design team here at Metromile. Prior to that, I was at Salesforce, where I led the team for Chatter. My background is in computer science.
Hi, my name is Cassie Rowe. I work at Scoop. I lead the user research and design there. I have a background in business and entrepreneurship and psychology. And I occasionally teach at the Academy of Art in the graduate program there as well.
Cool. I'm Jay Koenig. I'm VP of Marketing and Product at Honk. We're on-demand towing roadside service. My background prior to Honk was I ran my own growth and development agency, very focused on product and growth, and take those principles to Honk.
Great. I think we'd now like to know the Tech Emotion numbers. Would love to know from your startups, what are the 3 design principles that you guys find most important?
Sure. Yeah, so I think here at Metromile, there's a lot of design principles that we follow. 3 that I want to kind of focus on today were just making things what we call glanceable, making information very clear, and then the last one is in acronym it's DEF, which I'll get to in a second. But it's very important. Our users aren't using their app like it's Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, and they're kind of going through it like on a daily basis. Like they go use the app to like check on something. They check to see where their car is. They check to see what their last trip was. And so they go periodically. They want to make sure something's okay. They want to go check in engine code, right? So we want to make sure that information is just at their fingertips. They open the app, they can glance at it, they can see it, they can go on with their life. The clarity of information. So we have a lot of information about your trips, about data around your car. Like we could show you a whole mess of information. Like how do we boil that down to like just what you need to see? Then lastly, DEF, just making it delightful, engaging, and fun. It's kind of like a 3-in-1, but it's really important that our users do enjoy using the app, and that's something that we strive for.
So at Scoop, we do automated carpooling, which means people are requesting twice a day to get matched into carpools to and from work. And so one of our biggest things that we have to pay attention to, I call them pillars of design more than principles, is safety. We are matching people sometimes with strangers, and when you're a first-time user, it's always a stranger, and you're wondering who are these people that I might be riding with or driving with. So that's really important for us. And then we have another pillar that is called Tell Me I'm Awesome. So tell you that you're doing something good, right? You're helping the environment, you're helping to reduce traffic, and reducing traffic helps reduce divorce rates, helps reduce blood pressure. So you're actually making a really big impact. But we have to make sure that we constantly tell people that so they feel really good about what they're doing. And then the third one, kind of similar, is like context. Are they driving? Are they outside someone's door? Are they in a rush because of traffic? Are they trying to, like, did their phone just die and they don't know who they're picking up, and that kind of thing. And so we try to keep that all in mind when we're designing things.
I wish I had an awesome bullet. It's really nice. So for Honk, kind of the idea of breaking down is really, really scary and frightening, and generally what people associate with a bad experience. So when you think about going through that yourself, it's scary. Your hands can sometimes shake. There's an asymmetry of information between the tow provider and you. So 3 things that are really, really important for us are making sure the process is incredibly easy, it's very fast, and we actually deliver. Those things break out into both consumer and tow provider. So for consumer, it's got to be very clear, concise. Every piece of the process needs to make sense and be easily digested. Fast, so on our dispatch algorithm and the experience on the partner side, because of our marketplace, that needs to be equally easily digestible and just really, really snappy as far as delivering on our industry-leading ETAs, which are between 15 to 30 minutes, much, much quicker than kind of our outdated competitors, and actually delivering. So being mindful of the consumer being very scared, getting there, putting ourselves in their shoes, making sure that we check in, personally when things really, really get out of hand, but from a product perspective with cues at each step in the process to make sure that things are progressing.
All right, cool. So for you, Matt, how do you channel the customer in design?
Sure. Yeah, I think there's a couple ways that we do this. Each project starts with some form of user research research. It's a step that we don't like to ever skip in our design process. For a much larger project with more unknowns, we'll do a much kind of larger, either ethnographic type of study. Go out, talk to users, bring them in-house, show them concepts, get their feedback early on. And then even for really small projects, we'll do at least some comparative analysis and then some lightweight usability testing, even if it's with internal folks, or go out to our local Starbucks, which is just across the street, and just pull some people aside. So that's one main thing. We have a great customer experience team here who's talking to our user base on a daily basis. So we'll incorporate them into design reviews and get their feedback about what they think about a given design right then and there. And then the last thing I would just call is just general immersion. So any artifacts we have, one that we like to use a lot is just this concept of a journey map. How can we get those, put them up around the office, in our design studio area, and really kind of see daily, hey, this is just a reminder of what the user goes through every day, and we should be incorporating this into our designs.
Nice. Jake and Cassie, what are some user research challenges for your respective services?
Cassie's kind is going to let me jump into this. Towing roadside is, again, really an infrequent thing. On average, this happens once every 3 years for most folks. And then, again, putting yourself in the customer's shoes, it's a painful, generally crappy experience. So cutting through the weeds there and asking really relevant questions, getting the consumer at the point of the experience is really, really important. And getting data, getting meaningful data quickly around what's happening when and where, because you're not likely to, in the middle of a really, really bad experience, want to be giving constant feedback. So we've got a lot of time for things really well. On the other side, we're dealing with a really, really outdated populace for our code partners. Tech-wise, these are folks who do an incredibly dangerous, great, wonderful work, but are a bit averse to technology. So building separate kind of research processes and product solutions for them is difficult, but really, really interesting. So kind of putting on two different hats for our user types is something.
I would say the biggest user research challenge that we face at Scoop is actually creating the reality of the situation. So people use our app to book a carpool. That part's really easy. It can be done over the phone at any time of day. But then what they experience from the moment they get matched to the moment when they drive and pick up someone versus the rider, we actually have to go out and kind of experience that ourselves. We try to match ourselves with our users, see what it's like to freak out that we're stuck in traffic, not getting to someone, and how we communicate with them and how we do everything in a safe manner, as well as what happens when someone gets canceled on. It's actually really hard to replicate those feelings that come through, and so that's our biggest challenge. A secondary one that we sometimes face is actually getting a more representative sample. We have very active users that really love to use us, but we're also in the Bay Area where people are a little bit more tech savvy, and so a lot of times the people that are most vocal with us are a little bit over-indexed on technology, and things that would make sense to them don't necessarily make sense to more of the broader kind of user base. So those are our two biggest challenges.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt, Cassie, and Jake for sharing with our Tech in Motion members across the country your valuable insights into design and transportation. As for everyone at home, feel free to join in on the conversation, and thank you so much. Bye.